Maybe parents would not rely on their children so much financially if they picked better men to be in their lives. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. I've been counseling men and women who have been victims and perpetrators of abuse for many years now. I got a couple of comments like this on my original post about parents making their children pay their rent, and I want to respond to this commenter because they have children while being in a bad situation, bad/broke situation, and are still there 18 years later. They pick bad baby daddies and put it on the kids. And another commenter had said, many mothers hold their children to the standards that they don't hold, like the men in their, they don't have the same standards for the men in their life. And I think that this is true. There is some truth to this. It's not necessarily true for everybody, but there are a lot of people that are in this situation because parenting did not work out like they thought it was going to be for a lot of people. They picked a bad partner, or they're in a bad situation, or they were abandoned by the person that they're with, or here's another common scenario for many women. Many women pick deadbeats. I'm just going to say it like that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They pick men that don't pay bills, that will come and visit them when they're poor and not doing well, will come and visit them in their home, eat up all their food, drink up all their Kool-Aid or whatever sort of beverages they've got to drink. But that man will sit up there and use them and not contribute anything. And so naturally they then turn to, or not naturally, but they sort of turn to their children and expect their children to pick up the slack for both their love life that isn't, really isn't providing anything, but they're not willing to let that person go. But they expect their children to pay. They start to externalize the blame onto the children. You're the reason why things are shit around here. You're the reason why bills aren't getting paid around here. You're the reason that this person left me. They start to externalize blame for things not working out in their love life, things not working out in their finances, them not being married, them not living happily ever after and riding off into the sunset on their pony. Unfortunately, children receive the blaming end of this and are expected to pick up the slack because that man in their life did not do it. And there are a lot of women out there that are male-centered, who are male-centered mothers, that viciously lash out at their daughters especially, but also lash out at their children and become angry and expect their children to step up in ways that they don't demand from the men in their life. And that is, to anybody who's watching this, that is the truth. This woman, this woman and the other woman in the comments hit the nail on the head. So thank you so much for pointing that out. And that is one of the many dangers of being raised by a mother who is male-centered. And the shoe can go on the other foot in having a father that's female-centered as well, because I see it there also, not just the mother. So I don't want to, put it where it belongs, because I've seen fathers that are chasing mini skirts and will put all this money and bankroll women's lifestyles. But when it comes to their children, I've got nothing, or I don't want to pay anything, or they want to, sort of have this power trip and make them grovel. But, they basically weaponize money and hold it over their children's heads and expect their children to pay for their bills and step up in all the ways that they don't expect their romantic partners to. So thank you so much for this. Like, follow, comment, and share.